Are you someone who is into podcasts? Perhaps you want to have a really cool library where you can find some great podcasts to listen to on your commute to work. Or maybe you're looking to create one yourself. Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast, alright? It's free. It has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your PC. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. Complete ease, hassle-free, so that way you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as many more outlets. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Okay, folks? Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. It's fantastic, all right? And if you want to get started right now, all you got to do is download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Just a Glimpse. Oh my goodness, there has been so much news this week when it comes to gaming. Twitter has been going crazy with people shooting off different theories about all kinds of craziness. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing I want to discuss was the huge, exciting announcement about a brand new TMNT video game, and it's exciting, you guys. So Dotemu is making a beautiful retro style like beat 'em up for Ninja Turtles, and it's called Shredder's Shredder's Revenge. Okay, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Alright, so it's going to be in that 90s 2D beat 'em up style. So if you think back to like Turtles in Time, you'll know what I'm talking about. And this is super exciting. Now, I'm not real big into the beat 'em up games. I loved them as a kid. I kind of grew out of them and lost interest in them. I played Streets of Rage 4, which they also created, and it was good, but I was like not really feeling it. And I also played the re-envisioning of the new Battletoads, and I enjoyed that one, but it still wasn't like that big of a deal to me, if you understand where I'm coming from. So I just thought that I outgrew beat 'em ups altogether. But then they go and announce that they want to give the same treatment to the beloved Ninja Turtles, and that got me going because I'm a huge turtle fan, and now I actually am excited. I didn't really get all that hyped up for the announcements for Battletoads or for Streets of Rage 4 because they weren't that big of games to me. Growing up, when I played beat 'em ups, like on the NES, I was mostly playing Ninja Turtle games, or I was playing like Double Dragon. Those were pretty much what I cared about for the beat 'em up genre at that time. So yeah, Streets of Rage and all that, I didn't care about those. So yeah, this is huge for me. I'm super excited. The art style looks amazing. You can go on YouTube and you can look up the official trailer that they showed off on the 10th of this month, so 3 days ago. Check it out. It is beautiful. They're using the original song from the late 80s, early 90s TV show, the Saturday morning cartoon. They have a new artist singing the song, but it's still the original song. So that's just like, I heard that and I was like, what? They have the original song. So that's exciting. It's just, and then if you look at the video, like the art style, it just screams everything that I loved as a kid, playing the other games, and you can see the details, like the sound effects are great, the character sprites look great. They made sure they give them their own unique animations and stuff to set the Turtle brothers apart, which is important, definitely, like just looking at like the running animations, Michelangelo has a goofier run compared to, let's say like Leonardo or Raphael, who are definitely more serious and brooding looking, which would make more sense. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just kind of want to talk about from games from that period. With this being aside, this is just me just kind of want to talk about something that I love. Now, I know when you ask a lot of Ninja Turtle fans what their favorite video game was from back in the day, if we exclude all the ones that came out on like Xbox and everything, like 360 to now, if we exclude all the stuff from like the last 15 years or whatever, exclude all those games, and we just look at the classics from early Nintendo, more often than not, alright, you're going to hear everybody say that Turtles in Time is their all-time favorite. And I'm not gonna, say anything negative about Turtles in Time. It was a fantastic game. Fantastic game. Whether you played it on console or if you played it in the arcade, it was beautiful. Beautiful game. Now, that same year that Turtles in Time came out, they also came out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think it was 3, which was the Manhattan Project. And that is my all-time favorite classic turtle game. I played that game to death on my NES as a kid. I just loved it so much. And I feel that game, like, a lot of people probably haven't even played it, and that's the sad thing, because it got greatly overshadowed by Turtles in Time that released a little bit earlier that same year. For good reason, because Turtles in Time was awesome, but because they released 2 amazing games in the same year, people still hadn't gotten over the first amazing game to even look at the second one. So, a lot of, I never hear anybody bring up Manhattan Project, ever. I don't even think people know that game exists, as far as I'm concerned, because I never ever hear anybody talk about it. Alright? So, that is why I have to talk about it. I have to talk about it today. It was a game that means a lot to me. I poured so many hours playing it as a kid, and that game needs some recognition. Turtles in Time is amazing, yes, but so was Manhattan Project, and it was greatly overshadowed, and either people, didn't know about it because Turtles in Time was all anybody talked about, and they just missed out on it, or maybe you just forgot all about it. I don't know. But, I didn't forget. That game was amazing. I will always choose Manhattan Project over Turtles in Time any day, despite the fact that they were both flipping amazing games. Alright, and Hyperstone Heist as well. I played that on the Genesis. Another amazing freaking turtle game. But yeah, no. Manhattan Project. If you guys have the ability to play, for those of you who just have your retro console still in working order and a big collection of NES cartridges, if you have it or can get access to that, play it. If you are the type that wants to do emulators, then by all means do it. Do whatever you gotta do. Please, if you've never played it, please find a way to play the Manhattan Project, because I just miss that game. I miss that game so much. I remember everybody was super excited when they did a remaster, I guess, of Turtles in Time, 10 years ago or however long ago it was. And they cut out stuff. And so people were disappointed. But overall, it was still great to go back and play Turtles in Time again on the 360. It's just they did cut out some, crucial things that, they made it a lot shorter, which sucks. So, but if they were ever going to do a remake on another classic, that would definitely be my pick. And please, if you do a remake of Manhattan Project, anybody out there, any developer who decides to take that project on and gets the licensing, please do not cut stuff out. Don't do that, please. Alright? That's just my thing. So that's just all I wanted to really go on for the Ninja Turtle thing. I'm super hyped. If you haven't heard about the new Ninja Turtle, the Shredder's Revenge game, go on YouTube, just look it up, watch the trailer. There's lots of people doing articles about it, and check it out. I already added it to my wish list on Steam. There's articles talking about how it'll also be on consoles. I know Streets of Rage 4 went straight to Game Pass day one, from what I remember. So there's a very good chance that Shredder's Revenge will probably be another Game Pass day one. If that happens, then that's where I'm gonna play it for sure. If it doesn't, then like I said, I'll pick it up on Steam. No problem. Like, I'm gonna get this game. But just want to let people know that there's a good chance that this could end up on Game Pass because Streets of Rage 4 did. So go ahead and take advantage of it if it does. If you're on PlayStation, then, just buy the game. Okay? But if you do have access to PC or to Game Pass, whether it's on PC or Xbox, then snag it there. Okay? Alright, that's it. I'm going to move away from TMNT. I just want to really, touch on that real quick. The next thing that, happened this week that was the talk of all of social media was the finalization of the Microsoft Bethesda deal. The paperwork that they were waiting on to finalize, the buyout or partnership or whatever you want to call it for Europe got done. So it's all official now. Bethesda's now officially, owned by Microsoft. It's done. And it's amazing. And there was this round table live stream that happened this week and Phil Spencer was getting asked some questions and stuff about what this means, because now everybody wants to know about, what's going to be exclusive or not exclusive or what's going to happen. And he had some things to say about it, and I kind of find this interesting because everybody wants to create their own interpretation of what Phil Spencer said, and he did use some wording that's kind of confusing, like legacy and stuff. That is, I don't really know what he means by legacy, and like I said, I've seen plenty of people and other journalists try to come up with their own idea of what they think he means. But in the end, we don't really know what he meant, so we're all gripping at straws to try to rationalize what he means. And that's creating, all kinds of conspiracy theories and stuff about, and it's getting out of hand, as, the fan base tends to do on, between Xbox and PlayStation. Everyone's going nuts and creating all these weird tangents that are, way out there. I've heard things as crazy as people saying Game Pass is coming to PlayStation. This is what I'm talking about. People are out there. I mean, it's whatever. But anyways, so they had this huge round table topic, discussion. And one of the things that I'm going to quote right now is what Spencer had said. So this is word for word what he said. Okay, so he said, if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. That's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building and the creative capability we will be able to bring to market for our Xbox customers. It is going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here. Okay? So this is where people are like, Game Pass. So now, to me, because right now Game Pass exists on the Xbox console as well as on PC. And now people, like I said, conspiracies are like, oh, that means, they want to put their games everywhere Game Pass is, so now Game Pass is going to be on PlayStation and Nintendo too. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. One, I don't think that would ever happen. I mean, is it possible? Yes, anything is possible. If they wanted to make that kind of a deal, they could do that. But honestly, I don't see that ever happening because Nintendo, for one, likes to do everything in-house. They like to, do their own thing. So if anything like that was going to happen, I feel Nintendo would try to create their own game service to kind of compete with Game Pass. I don't foresee them wanting to just put, that Xbox branding on their console. I don't see that. same with Sony. They have PlayStation Now. Like, they already are, been trying to get their own service to work, and so I don't foresee them wanting to put Game Pass on theirs when they technically already have their own version. Yeah, it's not as good. It needs work, but they technically have their version. It just needs a lot of tweaking. So yeah, they're not about to put no, it doesn't make any sense. It would make more sense for them to try to change the infrastructure and the way they're doing their own, or just scrap the idea altogether and then move on with something different. So no, I don't think that's going to happen. People are going nuts saying that. There's also people saying that this means all games are going to go to Game Pass, and the Xbox console will cease to exist after this generation. And look, despite the fact that the Xbox console even though that console does not sell as many units as, let's say, the Nintendo Switch or any of the PlayStation consoles, despite that, it is still very profitable for them. They're selling their units. They're making profit off of it. As long as the company is still making profit, there's no reason for them to discontinue it. So no, I honestly do not think this is going to be the last Xbox console. The Series S and X will not be the last in the way I see it. They're going to keep going as long as it's still lucrative. Yes, they are going to continue to expand the brand and make sure they can tap into more avenues, whether it's like mobile with their cloud gaming, or, putting Game Pass on the PC market, because, it's Microsoft still. So, yeah, they're still going to do that, because they've been all about trying to get as many people to play their stuff from anywhere they want to play. So they're going to keep doing that. But that doesn't mean they're going to stop making consoles. That doesn't mean they're going to, put their stuff on their competitors' stuff. Okay? I don't foresee that happening. So no, I don't believe that. Plenty of people want to believe that. That's fine. Believe what you want to believe. But until something actually happens to where they do that, we really can't say anything, because we don't know nothing until it happens. Okay? Nobody knew they were going to just come in and swipe up Bethesda like they did until it happened. Alright? So, we don't know nothing. Alright? We are literally just here to theorize things, and we have to wait until things happen. And then all of a sudden we act like we know everything when we know nothing. So no, I don't foresee that happening. But he mentioned that there's going to be games that will be exclusive, but I know they have to honor their time deals. There were games, I believe, like Deathloop and that already had like timed exclusivity deals with PlayStation, so they're going to honor those. And we know that there's games that have been cross-platform, like Elder Scrolls Online, for example. So we know that they're going to keep those where they are, because they, there's no reason for like a game like Elder Scrolls Online, there's no reason to shut down those other communities that have, they've been around for so long already, and they have a good player base, and they can still pull in money from that. So there's no reason to just be like, we're gonna cut that all off. Now, if there were, let's say, newer games that maybe haven't even been announced yet, then yeah, if they wanted to be like, yo, we're gonna have these new IPs and we're gonna make them exclusive, they totally can do that. But Xbox doesn't have an issue with sharing things either. That's the other thing, is like look at Minecraft, look at like Cuphead and like Battletoads, and they share their games with other platforms. You don't see first-party games from Nintendo showing up on PlayStation or Xbox. You know what I mean? But you do see first-party games from Microsoft showing up on other platforms. So it's different, because they have been really big about people being able to play their stuff anywhere they want with whoever they want. They want to be everywhere. They don't want to have like this caged in mentality like PlayStation and Nintendo do. I'm not saying that those methods don't work, because they do. Like, they're super successful with getting people to stay within their own little ecosystem, but doesn't mean everybody else has to follow that method. And Microsoft has never followed that method. They've always been about expanding. With anything Microsoft does, they want their brand to be in every house in the world, and that's why Microsoft is the main stuff you see for PC versus Mac and stuff. There's a reason everybody has Windows, because it's just what they do. They want to be a household name, and they are, and they're working on it with Xbox. I've been talking about this. I know this is what's happening because we see it happening. Some people are in denial about it happening, but they want Xbox to be an in-house name, just like Windows, where everybody is using it. Whether if you don't want to buy a console, then fine. Play it on your phone. Play it on your PC. They'll probably add apps to, they'll probably have a streaming app to play on your Rokus and your Fire Sticks and your smart TVs. It's coming. They want to have their brand everywhere. So no matter where you are, you can play their stuff and pay them a subscription to use their stuff. And it's genius. Okay? You don't need to be limited to a console. You can, and that's what's so brilliant about what they're doing. And it's great. Now, you see a lot of this back and forth between the fan bases. Now, see, some people are like to call me a bot, and I really hate it when they do that, because I play everywhere. I play on PC. I have a Switch that I play on. I've owned all the PlayStation consoles up until now. I'm not buying a PS5, but I've owned them all, and I've gotten them specifically for exclusive games that I can't get anywhere else. So it just drives me nuts that because I have a preference or something that isn't, let's say, PlayStation, that instantly makes me a bot. And that's not how it works, folks. Okay? If I was a bot, that means I would only own Xbox. I wouldn't play anywhere else. I would only go on about how amazing Xbox is, and I would talk bad things and negative things about everybody else. I don't do that. I play everywhere, and I talk positively and negatively about everybody equally. Xbox screws up too, just like everybody else screws up. And they do some great things, just like others do some great things. All right, so it's inaccurate to call me that, and it's just things like that people just throw around because I don't know, it's just fanboyism. But no, I do not see myself as a bot. But anyways, if you go into like the fanboy parts of the communities between the consoles and stuff, there's a lot of back and forth. I've seen fanboys on the Xbox side who have been very, exclusives do not matter. They're anti-consumer, yada yada yada. And now that they Microsoft bought Bethesda, and we now see Bethesda games, they just added like 20 games to Game Pass like this week, like I think yesterday. So now we'll see them completely change their rhythm, saying about how these exclusive, they want all the games that are in the future to be exclusive because this is going to be amazing, and they flip-flop. And then you see the Sony fanboys doing the same thing. I've seen them time and time again tout about how exclusives are the only things that matter. They pick Sony because it has exclusives, and now that Microsoft has Bethesda, now they are all angry and saying that this is bad for gamers because they're losing it. So to me it's like, oh, exclusives are a great thing as long as you get them. But now that you're losing something, now all of a sudden exclusives are bad. Just like when on the Xbox side, where they're like, well, we don't really care because we don't have that many, but now we have them, we want to keep them. So it goes back and forth. So I hate seeing people saying, you know, trying to poke fun at one side when both sides have been hypocritical. That just makes no sense. You're both hypocrites, all right? If you're gonna be one of those super fanboy people, then you are a hypocrite, because literally I've seen both sides flip flop. So stop acting like you haven't, because it's you have. All right, I've seen it all over the place, and you're all in denial, and you're all flipping ridiculous. Let's just play games where you want to play them and just have fun. That's why we have games. It's so we can just have fun, you know, sharing memories with friends if you play co-op or PvP, or if you want to get immersed in a great story in a single player game. And you know, it's about having fun. Stop making it not fun by trying to act like you're the cock of the walk because you might have, you know, an exclusive somebody else doesn't have. You know what? Most gamers that are real serious about gaming, they buy all the platforms, so they aren't limited. Like me. Like, I don't give a flip who has what exclusive. If I want to play it bad enough, I'll go buy the system it's on, I'll play it. Who cares? Okay? Who cares? It's ridiculous. Alright, so we'll move away from that because I can just go on with the whole fanboy nonsense for forever. Next thing is last night, or afternoon, or yesterday. We'll just say yesterday. Yesterday, if you guys follow the Game Pass on Twitter, they like to do like these emails that they post up, and I don't know. I always found it to be weird. Like, they wanted to me, it's like they wanted to be like an email to make us feel like, oh, this is super secret, this is an email that's been leaked, when in reality it's a complete spoof that they created specifically for social media to make it feel more special, I guess. But anyways, so there was this email that they posted yesterday, and I'm gonna read it off for those of you who haven't seen it. So the email is titled Mysterious Signal, and it's from Game Pass, and they write, "Hey team, so much news today. Hope you don't mind if I add some more." And then, you know, then they have it in parentheses, "although it's completely unrelated to the other announcements." Alright, that new game has been confirmed and is officially coming to the service. As always, keep this confidential. Before I go, I did have something I wanted to ask. Has anyone else noticed a mysterious signal appearing in the distance lately? Or am I the anomaly in this situation? Weird question, I know. Thanks, Melissa. And all these little fake emails are from Melissa McGame Pass. It's just like their fake name they made. So this has gotten Twitter and like the gaming community all up in a tiz because everyone wants to, you know, think about what game this could be. And honestly, there's a lot of games this could be, but the most recent game that's coming out that it applies to would be Outriders. So it makes more sense that everyone's going crazy thinking that Outriders is coming to Game Pass. Now, if this is true, this is huge. This is a multi-plat game. This game is supposed to be on all platforms, okay? And if this comes to Game Pass, that is a huge, huge blow to, let's say, the PlayStation consumer base, because they have to pay full price for this game, okay? So they're going to be mad, and justly so, you know, because they're paying for a game, whereas those on PC and Xbox can pay for the service, and they can just have access to the game for like $10 for, you know, pay $10 or whatever for the month, and they can, you know, play this game. You know, and if they don't like it, then they can, you know, cancel their service or play other games in Game Pass, and they're good versus dropping $60 on it. So this is huge. This is huge. There are people that are mad because they pre-ordered it on Xbox, and I'm like, I don't know why they're mad, because you can cancel pre-orders, so you just need to stop talking. All right. if this comes to Game Pass, you're going to know before this game launches. They will have an official announcement before launch day if this is going to indeed be on Game Pass. So for anybody who's over here griping about how they just pre-ordered it, if you pre-ordered this thing on PC or on Xbox, you need to stop talking. Just cancel your pre-order, like right before it comes out. If it, or as soon as it gets confirmed on Game Pass, if you want to go the Game Pass route. No big deal. Now, if you're on PlayStation, then yeah, you have a reason to gripe, because now you're paying full price for a game that, the other part of the gamer base doesn't have to. So yes, you have a justified reason to be, a bit upset. Fine. But everybody else just needs to shut up. Okay? Just wait. If it comes to Game Pass, just cancel. Move on. No big deal. Okay? It's whatever. But this is I'm in a different situation, because you guys already heard how I felt about the demo, and I was just going to rent this game anyway. Okay? So now, if this comes to Game Pass, dang it. If this game comes to Game Pass, I won't have to rent it through GameFly. I can just, do it that way. And because before I was debating if I was going to buy it, I was going to, I was either going to, I was renting it so I could have it on console. But if I was going to buy it, I was going to buy it on PC just because it looks so much better on PC. Now, if it's on Game Pass, I no longer have to worry about that decision, because I can literally either play it on PC or play it on my Xbox. It won't matter, because it's on both. It's on both, and I won't have to worry about that. And I'm wondering, because before, there was no cross progression, right, between PC and console. But I'm wondering, since it's Game Pass, will there be cross progression between the Game Pass for console and PC? If it'll be because it's, it's the same system basically. So it's, yes, the PC has a different library than the console. They'll get a few differences in game titles that come off and get added compared to console. But I'm wondering, if I was to get it through Game Pass, if I could play the same character between both platforms as long as I stick to Game Pass. That's something that I want to find out, because that would blow my mind. That would blow my mind, because then, like I said, I could play on Xbox on the days where I'm lazy and I don't want to have to deal with, generating codes for friends to join, or, like I would if I, bought it through Steam. But if they do have this special progression thing between Game Pass users, then yeah, I can play on console when I want to be lazy, and then if I wanted to look prettier, I can just switch to PC, no big deal. And the good thing about it, because it's Game Pass and I'm on PC, is I would still have that Xbox friends list, so I still wouldn't have to go through the game code. Okay? That's the thing. For those of you who didn't do the crossplay, if you are playing with somebody outside of your platform, you have to generate an invite code. It's not that big of a deal, but if you are playing with some people that are a little bit more technologically, they struggle, we'll put it that way, they struggle, it becomes a pain in the butt. And one of my gaming buddies is one of those who, trying to tell them to put it in a code is, becomes this whole ordeal that, take 20 minutes. Okay? So if I could just skip that and still use my friends list through my Xbox friends list while playing it on the PC through Game Pass, oh my gosh, game changer for me. Alright? That is huge. That is huge. So that gets me a little pumped, because I'm not really feeling the game as a whole. I'm hoping that when the full game comes out, there'll be some new things added that'll wow me and maybe change how I feel about it, because from what I saw from just the demo, I'm not impressed. I'm not feeling it, but I want to still play it because my friends like it, and, they get plenty of games I like to play with me, so it's only fair that I, get some stuff that they enjoy, like Division. I hate that game, but I got both of them to play with those guys because I care. Okay, it's called friendship. All right, you compromise with each other and you just have fun. So, yes, If Outriders comes to Game Pass, I'm going to be ecstatic for those very reasons. I won't have to do game invite codes, and I can play it on PC still, and still have my Xbox friend list. Oh, happy day. I'm excited for that. That makes me happy. I don't care about the game, but that, just being able to have those little features makes me happy. Alright? And I won't have to deal with, renting it through GameFly, which saves me the hassle of having to have a disc. Okay, so that makes me happy. Alright? So those are good. That's good news for me. Alright? Some of these things I'm talking about have zero impact to a lot of you, because we're going to just get it on PC or Xbox. So outside of just downloading it through Game Pass, that's the only thing that's going to change for some of you. But no, I'm excited for that. I am. But that's pretty much all I had that I wanted to talk about for this segment. So thank you guys for listening. There's been so much gaming news going on. It's great. We've been having this dry spell for like the last 3-4 months. So I'm happy that things are starting to pick up now. So yes, Outriders is the next game I'm getting, whether I rent it or get it through Game Pass if that happens. Okay, so it's happening. I will have it. It's going to be either Game Pass or rental through GameFly. I am not buying this game. And then the next game on my list that's coming out recently is going to be MLB The Show. I love that game. One of the reasons why I have a PlayStation was so I can play baseball. But guess what? I no longer need PlayStation for that because now it's coming to Xbox. Thank you. So that makes me happy as well. So those are my next big games. There are other big games I'm looking at, but they've all been delayed, so they're not even worth mentioning right now. They've all been pushed back. Also, Watchdog Legion added their co-op, and it's, from what I'm hearing, super broken right now. So I haven't even installed it or tried it. Like, I've done no updates or anything like that. I'm waiting for everybody else to be like, yeah, the servers are good, because all I'm hearing about is like the servers crashing and it's just not working. So I'm holding off on that. But I do definitely want to play that. That's a game that I was enjoying, but it was pretty buggy when I was playing it around launch time. I had missions and stuff that just weren't progressing and they kept glitching and stuff. So I'm waiting for all that to get addressed, because I do want to pull that off my backlog here soon and get back in it. But that's pretty much it. Oh, and I do want to mention, because it's something that I've been playing. I've been playing this game. It's an Xbox 360 game. It was on PC, I'm sure, and probably PlayStation 3. I don't know. For me, it's an Xbox 360 game because that's where I'm being introduced to it. Okay, so it's called Marlowe Briggs and the Mask of Death. And oh my goodness. I never heard of this game. I knew nothing about this game. I was just like, you know what? I have nothing to play right now, because the servers aren't working on the game I wanted to play. So I was like, let me just look at my Xbox library of things I've downloaded that I haven't touched, because I literally will go in and I'll just claim things for like Xbox Gold games. I'll just claim them each month, and a lot of times I won't even play them until like way later on when so this is one of those moments where I was like, you know what? I got nothing going on. Let me look at my library of unplayed games and let's do one. And I picked that one out, and wow, that game is something. Let me tell you, it's if you're familiar with like hack and slash kind of games similar in play style to classic God of War, or even like Darksiders, like the first Darksiders, then you kind of have a grasp of what this game plays like, and it's cool. And the differences, there are differences. The like the camera is zoomed out a bit further. Like Darksiders 1, for example, it's a little bit more over the shoulder. This one is definitely you're further away, but gameplay wise, it is fun. You get different. You get your weapon kind of like evolves and turns into a different weapon as you play, and you also get some special like magical abilities that have to do with the elements. And the trade-off is the best way. This is like the best way to do it. When you think of games like God of War, you think of like Greek mythology, and then now with the newest one, Norse mythology. But for we're just gonna say Greek mythology, okay? Greek mythology, and you have a white protagonist, okay? Which makes sense because Greeks. All right, and then you have and those take place during like a fantasy mythical timeline, okay? And then you have Marlowe Briggs, which focuses on a modern timeline. Like today, we literally have like RPGs and helicopters going around, okay? And then they have the Mayan mythologies going on in there, you know, like Xibalba, you know, and all this stuff. And then you have a black protagonist, which is pretty cool because it's like awesome, you know. There's some representation out there for some other gamers that, you know, are gonna be like, yes, finally. So this is great. So I'm playing it. The characters are cool. There's definitely this game does not I don't want this to sound like this game is like the best thing I've played in years, because there's a lot of. This game definitely has it's hard because this game is one of those games where I can't take it seriously because it's over the top with its stuff, and there's a lot of, like, you know, bullshit factors happening in this game. So I'm not being super critical on it like I would with other games, because this game isn't trying to be serious. You know what I mean? So like, so it's like you'll have these they go back and forth with their cutscenes, so it's kind of hard for me to explain. So they'll have like your regular cutscenes, you know, where it's full animated motion or whatever, and then they have their other cutscenes, which is like this stop freeze kind of animation, kind of more of like a graphic novel of sorts, and it's different. But I still like it. But yeah, no, I would say check it out. Check it out. If you are someone like me who claims all the games for gold, and maybe you don't pay attention to all the ones you're claiming, there's a good chance you might have it. And if you do, install it and give it a go. It is ridiculous. Like a good ridiculous. Like, just play it. I'm playing it on normal because I didn't know if I was gonna like it, so I didn't want to, you know, go all in serious with putting it on the harder difficulty like I normally would. But playing it on normal, I will say the game is way too easy, at least for me. So I would recommend, if you are a hardcore gamer who plays a lot of like action adventure kind of games, then maybe crank it up. Don't play it on normal, just because it is just way too easy. It is way too easy. I understand there are gamers that like to just play on normal because they don't want to be, you know, stress out and have to, you know, work at stuff, and they just want to enjoy the game at a decent pace. I get that, but this game is so easy that I'm finding it a little unenjoyable because I'm just flying through it so quick that I'm not getting a chance to really enjoy the stuff I'm unlocking. And what I mean by that is I'm flying through the story so fast that as you get to certain points in the story, excuse me, the weapon will change. So you'll start off with like this scythe that has a blade on each end, a double-bladed scythe. And then as you play, it will evolve, and it'll become like a two-handed, I guess like daggers, I guess, but they have like the scythe ends on them. And then it upgrades again, and it becomes like your scythe on like a long chain instead. And then the final upgrade, it becomes a really big hammer. So if you're flying through the game at the speed I am, you get it to a weapon and you're enjoying the new play style with the new combo attacks, and you're having fun with it, but you don't get to really enjoy it because before you know it, you flew through so quick that you're onto the next weapon type and you can't go back. So once it evolves, you keep moving on. Like, at least I haven't noticed a way to switch back to one of the previous versions. But so for me, like, I'm already locked out. I'm on the final one with the hammer, and I really don't like the hammer. It's way too slow. And yes, it's a hammer. They're usually slow. But I've played other games where I played with two-handed weapons before, and I can still have a lot of fun with them. I'm just not liking it on this one. So that's something. So if you want to be able to fully enjoy the different weapon type as it changes with the different skills and stuff, then definitely turn the difficulty up so you're not breezing through it so quick that you're gonna miss it. But otherwise, yes, enjoy it for what it is. I'm enjoying it, and I'm finding it funny because I'm playing it, and I got a bunch of other friends who are like, oh, wow, I remember this game. I played it back in the day. And I'm just like, what? And you never told me about it? I'm over here talking about all these games I like, like I played, like, recently I've gone through, like, the classic God of Wars, and I played through all the Darksiders, and I just recently played Dante's Inferno, and this game is right in that same wheelhouse as all those games, and I never brought it up. And I'm like, you failed me. But, just to, tease them some, but they all say that they loved it. It's great. Check it out. That's all I want to say. So thank you guys so much for listening. And yes, tell your friends, hit that follow button, and make sure you can follow me on social media. Just go to Twitter. My name's Cool Cat Terry there. The same as my Twitch. If you ever want to come hang out with me while I'm live, love to have ya. Thank you guys for listening. I'll try to come up with some fun new things to discuss on the next show. You guys are great. And, catch y'all later. Take care, my friends.